So, nation's massive repatriation exercise, code-named Vande Bharat, has begun the process of bringing back Indians, bringing them back home. And today, a flight carrying 234 Indians from Singapore landed in Delhi. Another flight from Dhaka also ferried Indian students to Srinagar. We have a detailed report.
An emotional homecoming. People grateful to the government for bringing them home in these troubled times. On Friday, an Air India B787 flight from Singapore brought back 234 Indians stranded in the country because of COVID-19. The flight landed a little after noon in Delhi.
The Air India flight AI-1242 left the Hazrat Shah Jalal Airport in Dhaka at 11 in the morning, reaching Srinagar in the afternoon. It carried the first batch of the medical students who are studying in the medical colleges of Dhaka.
With around 165 medical students aboard, Air India evacuated the first batch of Indian nationals stuck in Bangladesh due to the lockdown. The students thanked the government for bringing them home. A total of 7 flights will depart from Dhaka under the Vande Bharat Mission.
Ministry of External Affairs along with Home Ministry, Health Ministry, Civil Aviation, MOD, सबने मिलके भारत सरकार के हर ब्रांच ने मिलके ये एक मैसिव एक्सरसाइज किया है. ढाका से 7 फ्लाइट्स टोटल जाएंगे.
We are really happy and we are thankful to the government of India. They have really helped us a lot in these difficult times, and we are thankful to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He really helped us a lot.
More than 350 headed home from Dubai on day 2 of the Vande Bharat mission.
Vande Bharat mission has come as a boon for those stranded abroad in times of the unprecedented pandemic. Priority is being given to workers in distress, elderly people, urgent medical cases, pregnant women, and others stranded in difficult situations. Protocols are being followed before the shortlisted passengers are allowed to board the flight for India.
The reason I'm going back home is because I just wanted to get back to my families at this time of crisis. And I really thank the Indian government to take this step at the earliest so that people like me would be able to see our family and be helpful to them.
Nearly 150 people stranded in Riyadh will arrive in Kozhikode, while around 177 passengers are expected to arrive from Bahrain. The people evacuated from Bahrain will land in Kochi.
We have about 200 workers on these flights. We have about 35 pregnant ladies, and we have about 30 odd medical cases on both these flights. Everything has been going on very smooth.
We request all the Indian nationals to register themselves, those who want to get repatriated, to register themselves on the Indian Embassy website. Please be assured that we are aware of your pressing need to go to India. Whoever has been getting in touch with us, we will certainly accommodate each one of you in the earliest possible flights.
Meanwhile, another Air India flight is en route to London from Mumbai to evacuate Indian nationals stuck there. The operation will begin on the 9th of May. Committed to bring back stranded citizens, the government has also taken help from the Navy.
Indian government has undertaken the biggest evacuation exercise of Indian nationals from abroad in wake of COVID crisis, and Samudra Setu of Indian Navy is a significant pillar to it. The first leg of this exercise began on Friday when INS Jalaswa left Malé for Kochi. Another Indian Navy ship, INS Magar, will leave for Tuticorin on Sunday, carrying over 1,200 passengers. There were hectic preparations being carried out by Indian High Commission in Malé over past few days regarding selection of returnees and overall preparations.
It's a great thing that they took immediate action, and see now a very bulk amount of people are leaving from. We don't have any issue till now.
Late night on Thursday, nearly 363 people were brought back to India from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. The flight from Abu Dhabi with 181 passengers arrived at the Cochin International Airport at around 10 p.m. It had 49 pregnant women and 4 children aboard. The airport authorities made all arrangements to ensure that safety measures regarding COVID-19 were undertaken. The second flight had 182 passengers. It landed at Calicut International Airport in Kozhikode.
The moment I registered in Indian Embassy, all the officials, they had called us repeatedly, and follow-ups have been done beautifully, and they all supported us in all the ways.
Welcome aboard your own airline, Air India Express. It is a great honor for my team and I to fly you on this very first evacuation flight.
My crew did an excellent job today, handling 177 plus 5 infants, and everything went off very smoothly. There were no issues. Everything was looked after very well by my crew. Thank all of them.
The government began the Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded Indian nationals home. Countries around the world declared lockdowns due to the coronavirus pandemic, bringing movement to a complete halt. Many Indian nationals who were stuck abroad are being brought back in a phased manner. Bureau Report, DD India.
And of course, government has prepared this very detailed road map in order to repatriate at least or over 14,800 stranded Indian citizens from abroad in light of the coronavirus pandemic back home. And we're going to talk about it in detail as far as the fact file, the facts and figures of Vande Bharat mission is concerned. Now, let's begin. 64 flights to repatriate stranded Indians abroad are to be, implemented in the phased 1, where flights will be operating from 7th till 13th of May. And what are these countries that we are looking at in phase 1? 10 flights from UAE. From Qatar, there are 2 flights. From Saudi Arabia, 5 flights. United Kingdom, there's going to be 7 flights. From Singapore, 5 flights. From United States of America, 7 flights will be flying. From Philippines, 5. From Bangladesh, there are going to be 7 flights in phase 1. And Bahrain will have 2 flights. Malaysia, 7 flights in number. Kuwait will have 5 and Oman will have 2 flights. These are the numbers that are also on your screens for your quick reference. Now, back home, 11 flights will be going to Tamil Nadu and Delhi, and 15 flights will be going to Kerala. Now, there are 7 flights that will be going to Maharashtra and also Telangana. Plus 6 flights will be going to Gujarat. Now, let's talk about the Indian Navy, their involvement in this operation. 3 ships will be getting back citizens from Maldives and UAE in phase 1, and INS Jalashwa and INS Magar from Maldives as well as INS Shardul will be diverted to Dubai to actually get all these expats or expatriates from West Asian countries. Now, talking about day 2, 2 flights we already know have arrived, and 234 people at least are stranded in Singapore. They will be landing in New Delhi. Flights from Dhaka. When we talk about the flight from Dhaka, there are 165 students on board this flight which arrived in Srinagar today. 4 flights. Now, out of these 4 flights, 1 from Riyadh to Kozhikode with 145 Indian passengers on board, and from Manama in Bahrain to Kochi with 177 passengers on board. Also, remember, there are 2 flights from Dubai to Chennai with 177 passengers on board will also arrive in phase 1. And as of now, the numbers as far as registrations are considered, 67,833 registrations have been done so far, out of which 34%, the maximum chunk is of students, 30% are immigrants that are included in the registrations that have been done so far. Now, let's move and talk about the COVID-19 pandemic evacuations done so far. Remember, it began on March 22nd. Air India special flight from Rome, wherein 263 Indians were evacuated from coronavirus hit Italian capital in Rome there. Then again on March 15th from Milan, Indian Airlines special flight from Milan carried 218 Indians. And before that, from March 10th to March 16th, during those 6 days, from Iran, 389 Indians were evacuated from Iran. But that, remember, happened in 4 batches in that period of 6 days. And before that, February 28th, Japan, this, remember, was one of the most important evacuation operations where 124 Indians, 124 passengers, which included 119 Indians, out of which 5 were from Sri Lanka, Nepal and South Africa and Peru were brought back home safely. On February 27th, again, Air India special flight from Japan evacuated once again 124 passengers, which included 5 nationals from Sri Lanka as well, 5 from Nepal, South Africa as well as Peru. And on February 26th, now this was also very, very important evacuation process from Hubei in China, where Indian Air Force evacuated 112 passengers, which included 76 Indians. And also to mention, other nationals were also evacuated by our forces, our Indian Air Force, including citizens of of Myanmar, Bangladesh, Maldives, China, United States, Madagascar, as well as South Africa. And on 1st February to 3rd February, the Wuhan operation was also very critical, where 654 passengers were brought back from Wuhan, remember, which was the epicenter of the COVID-19. Let's quickly also take a quick look at the evacuation operations that have been undertaken by Government of India, by our government in the recent past. Now, July 2014, remember, this was the operation which grabbed international headlines. We're talking about Iraq, where Indian Air Force and Air India's Boeing 747 fleet brought back thousands and thousands of Indians stranded in strife-torn Iraq, especially Operation Rahat, if we talk about, from March to April 2015. Indian government evacuated at least 6,710 persons from Yemen, out of which 4,748 were Indians, 1,962 were also foreign nationals. After that, Operation Sankat Mochjan, we'll talk about this. This was between July 15, 2016, where Indian Air Force airlifted 156 Indians from war-torn south of Sudan as well. And before we take a short break, let's also